Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we'll be discussing one of my favorite players that if you follow the channel for a while, I think if there was one player that we've discussed the most at length, it's been Deni Avdija since he was drafted, before he was drafted, and obviously when he was on the Washington Wizards, because I am a basketball masochist and that I like Timberwolves, Magic, and Wizards. However, let's talk about what Deni Avdija is doing this season. And if you guys were following, he has been doing this since January of 2025. And a lot of people were like, oh, it's not going to carry over. But guess what? It has carried over. And at the very least, this is a guy who seems like a bona fide all-star, if not potential all-NBA team member. So let's get right into it. Shout out to Joe Cronin and Mike Schmitz for getting him. But let's break down what we're seeing in Portland. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Like and subscribe for more content like this. This isn't an accident. It's a blueprint. When Tiago Splitter took over that interim head coaching job, it didn't just change the playbook. It installed an entire operating system. And Deni Avdija, he's the living, breathing proof that it works. I'll give it to you straight. Avdija has made the leap. We're not talking about a nice step forward. We're talking about an all-star, franchise cornerstone breakout. He's putting up numbers of almost 26 points, 6 boards, and nearly 5 dimes a night. And he's doing it on killer efficiency. 49% from the field, 38% from deep, 85% from the stripe. But the stat that tells you everything about his new role is in his usage rate, sitting at 27.8%. The Blazers handed him the keys to the entire offense, and he's flooring it. He hit the gas. So how did this happen? It starts with Splitter's mandate. Simplicity drives speed. This isn't some complicated read-heavy offense. It's a European-inspired pace and space system built on relentless defensive aggression that fuels a devastating transition game that a guy like Turbo is able to just... I was going to make a joke saying that he's able to genocide the opponent's offense, but that's just not funny. I'm Jewish too, so it's fine. Also his father's is a Muslim Gorani, which is like from Yugoslavia, from the same area that my family's from. I thought he was a Sephardic Jew like I am, but he's actually, half Muslim. I obviously raised in Israel to an Ashkenazi Jew. This is, we're just going to move forward. In the half court, Deni Avdija, they lived on simple, hard-cutting actions, Iverson cuts, drag screens, ghost screens. They drill these reads over and over until they're second nature, building a muscle memory that'll let them play fast without thinking. This system was tailor-made for a player like Deni Avdija, who was stuck overthinking at times in Washington. And then last year we saw that they told him just play freely, and we realized that's what he needed. Now in the system, he's just reacting, and the game has slowed down for him. Tiago Splitter saw Deni Avdija's unique tools as a 6'9" frame with guard handles and visions, and built the offense around him as a jumbo guard initiator creator. They've unlocked his turbo mode from his Washington days, and now it's an improved weapon. He's using his strength to get downhill, attacking the rim with power and purpose, as I couldn't speak right there. And he's drawing fouls at an elite rate, 8.5 free throw attempts a game, 6th in the entire league. That's the engine of his offense. Even when the defense collapses, his passing vision for a man his size makes him a nightmare to guard. He worked on changing speeds, shifting gears, and now he's completely shed that predictability he used to have. And the numbers don't lie about his impact. The Blazers' offensive rating absolutely plummets when he sits. He's 4th in the entire league in the on-off differential. He is the fulcrum. The whole operation runs through him. And look at the roster they built around him. It's a defensively versatile, long, athletic unit designed to get stops and run. Second year, big Donovan Clingan is the perfect anchor, an elite rim protector with a massive wingspan who sets bone-jarring screens, runs the floor, and finishes without needing plays called for him. He cleans up the glass and deters everything at the rim, which is the ignition for Splitter's pace. And then, third-year man, Toumani Camara, who was an all-defensive team member last year, is the ultimate connector and versatile stopper, doing the dirty work that lets Deni Avdija focus on creation, even though Deni Avdija is an underrated defender in his own right. The front office, Joe Cronin, made a statement by bringing in a veteran like Drew Holiday. He's the stabilizer, the high IQ playmaker who can run point and play a little off ball while taking some of the initiation load off of Deni Avdija's shoulders, especially with Scoot Henderson working his way back. And Jeremy Grant buying into that, fifth, sixth man role has been huge. He's giving them 18 points a night off the bench, providing essential scoring punch when Deni Avdija needs a breather and stopping the offense from flatlining. But let's be clear about the ceiling. For all Deni Avdija's brilliance, he might be a 1A on a very good team, but on a true contender, you usually need that undisputed top 5 guy. And the Blazers are projecting 43 wins this year, which is a massive turnaround, but that success puts them in a tough spot. They're too good to land a franchise-altering lottery pick, but they might not be a true contender. And last year, they were kind of in this weird danger of purgatory, which is play-in 6 seed, and I think they're gunning for a 6 seed spot. They're gunning for a 6 seed spot because I think that's where you pull yourself out of that purgatory and you show that this is a team that's worth building around and has the steps to take maybe next year to be a contender, and you make maybe a further move to get yourselves into the contention. Now, the 2 biggest holes are glaring. They are 26th in the league in 3-point percentage and 29th in turnovers. You can't have your primary creator driving into packed paint because the defense doesn't respect his shooters. Shaedon Sharpe is the X factor here. He can explode for 35 on any given night, but if he and the other wings can't consistently knock down open looks, defenses will just keep walling off the paint against Deni Avdija, Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, whoever it may be, and Klingon. The path forward is clear. The Blazers must surround Deni Avdija with more shooting, high volume, high efficiency guys who force defenses to stay home. They need Scoot Henderson to mature into a consistent secondary creator to ease the playmaking burden. They have their all-star in Deni Avdija and a system that maximizes him. Now it's about executing the final piece of the build, getting him the support he needs to turn a great breakout into a lasting championship contender. So let me hear your thoughts if you guys agree on that, if you guys think Deni Avdija has this potential, if you guys think the Portland Trailblazers have that. Currently, they are 8-11 on the season, and if you look at the West NBA standings, it's a little dicey out there because they're looking at the 9th seed right now, which 2 games behind the 10-10 Warriors, who are the 8th seed. They are, what I believe at this point, 2.5 games back from the Timberwolves, who are the 7th seed, who are 10-8, and they're 4 games back from the Suns, who are 12-7. So, and them being 8-11 only puts them 1 game ahead the 10th seed Grizzlies, who are 7-12, and 2 games in front of the 5-12 Jazz. So, with all that being said, there are things that, if you're paying attention to this team, would be areas of concern. So, let me hear your guys' thoughts. That's it for me, but peace out.